Hey everyone, it's Carrie from Red Curtain Addict, and tonight we're coming to you from SFJAZZ Gala, a night that celebrates legacy, community, and the transformative power of music.
The venue is designed for connection between the artist and the audience, and that's what I live for.
You guys, I absolutely love jazz, and I'm so excited to be here and show you a peek into this special celebration because there's so much in store.
San Francisco art scene has always had a reputation for being at the height of creative thinking and creative expression.
This evening, SFJAZZ is honoring an icon in the music industry, legendary producer and president of Blue Note Records, Don Was, with the SFJAZZ Lifetime Achievement Award.
Just to witness all of the artists honoring Don, let alone to be part of it myself, it's sort of just a tremendous milestone. I'm just grateful.
He's collaborated with music legends across genres from the Rolling Stones, Willie Nelson, Bob Dylan, to Herbie Hancock, Norah Jones, and one of my all-time favorite jazz artists, Gregory Porter, among many others. And tonight, the community is also paying tribute to the late Zakir Hussain, master tabla player, composer, and longtime SFJAZZ collaborator, whose artistry helped bring Indian classical music and global percussion to audiences around the world. And it's all going to unfold tonight in a true SFJAZZ fashion.
The whole thing becomes a celebration of jazz music in all its forms, and I love it.
With a star-studded concert, a room full of cultural changemakers, and two notable hosts, Paul Reiser and Delroy Lindo, who both have special connections to the Bay Area and jazz. So hang tight and make sure to watch all the way to the end because we're going to meet up with some special speakers, artists and educators, supporters, and more, like Terence Blanchard, as we explore how jazz continues to connect generations and shape the future. So let's go.
It's just a wonderful organization. I absolutely love jazz, and I'm just so happy that we have this in San Francisco.
We are blessed in San Francisco to have so many great, amazing performing arts companies, all within blocks of each other.
It's just a joy for me to be involved. I was on the host committee this year, and that was an honor, and I just love supporting.
We're nothing without our arts and culture. SFJAZZ has been years in the making in terms of just bringing community together. I was just talking to Don Was about this, and in a time where everybody seems to want to divide us, music always brings us together. Jazz, nothing better.
And I know you've been busy, so it's nice to see some jazz tonight, right?
I was listening to some jazz on the drive over here, and it got me into a positive mood, a happy mood, a mood that says San Francisco is on the rise, and SFJAZZ is instrumental in that rise.
Love that. What do you love most about this community here tonight and the institution?
Well, I was at the opening night party. I saw this building getting built from the ground up. I remember that and remembering how proud a moment that was for our city.
Yes.
And this night is all about celebrating what's great about jazz, but also what's great about San Francisco.
Molly, it's so great to see you tonight. It looks like a great celebration here at SFJAZZ. What are you most looking forward to this evening?
I think it's just a chance to have a wonderful party. We are definitely having world-famous musicians, and we're going to memorialize Zakir Hussain, who was just wonderful and just passed in December.
Yes.
So we have some sad moments, but a lot of happiness.
And a lot to celebrate tonight, right? With Don Was, and a new chapter with our new CEO. Can you tell us a little bit about her?
We're so excited. She doesn't start till July, but she'll be here tonight for everyone to meet her. Gabrielle Armand, for the last 16 years, has led a major part of Jazz at Lincoln Center and worked directly with Winston Marsalis. And, you know, we were a little worried if Winston would be unhappy about us stealing her, but he sent us this lovely note about this is just making the music stronger everywhere. So this is somebody very important.
I am here with Delroy. You're co-hosting tonight. It's going to be such a good time celebrating Don Was. What are you most looking forward to this evening?
Celebrating Terence Blanchard's first full year here.
Yes.
Terence is a friend, has been a friend for many years, and I'd say the driving force for me being here, even though I have much respect for Randall Klein, who created SFJAZZ and would do anything for Randall, it was especially important for me this evening to be here to support Terence. at the beginning of his journey with SFJAZZ.
Your recent movie, Sinners.
Oh, yes.
Let's talk about it because
Okay.
it kept me on the edge of my seat. There was a lot of scary moments in there, but I loved how there was music woven in through the story. How has music really influenced your life and your story?
That's a great question. And music, let's go back to Sinners for a second. Because blues music, as presented in Sinners, part of the position of the music has to do with the fact that it's the narrative that Ryan is telling has to do with the fact that blues is on many levels the basis of all music. For myself personally, to your question, I can't imagine my life without music. And to the extent that music has a rhythm, it's also part of the rhythm of my life. And for me personally, I don't know, there's so much to admire about jazz, about jazz musicians.
You get to see arts all over, right? But here being at SFJAZZ, what do you love most about this community, this center?
I have profound respect for the fact that Randall Klein has been able to create this movement, this organization that has now become so central and fundamental to this community. The fact that so many brilliant artists come through this community and share their artistry, share their work with the community. They're two of the things that I most admire about what SFJAZZ represents. And I'll add a third thing, and that is the fact of somebody of the stature of Terence Blanchard now coming aboard and taking the organization to another level, is incredibly exciting and awe-inspiring.
I am here with Terence Blanchard. So nice to meet you. I had the opportunity to see the opening night of Fire Shut Up in My Bones at the Met. You composed a lot of different genres, classical, jazz, etc. But what is it about jazz that keeps drawing you in?
It's the freedom. You know, it's a combination of things, actually. It's the freedom along with the kind of really well thought out construction of like some of these compositions. Like when you think of a Herbie Hancock or Wayne Shorter, their compositions are just totally amazing. But even within that, there's a freedom for everybody to express themselves. And then it allows it to change and grow every day. You know, I've been on the road with Herbie for the last 3 years. He's 85 and he's still stretching every night. And like the guys that we're gonna have tonight playing on the show, you're gonna see it's gonna be phenomenal. It's gonna be a lot of fun. San Francisco has been a place for a lot of innovation for a long time. And when you look at some of my favorite records, they were all made here. And there's a whole legacy of jazz musicians who've come from San Francisco who've made major contributions to the world of music.
Now we're celebrating Don Was tonight. What a career. What does it mean to have and receive a Lifetime Achievement Award?
Well, first of all, Don Was is the perfect person to receive this award because his musical experiences have gone all over the place. But the foundation of all of it is his experience in the jazz world. And then when he became the president of Blue Note Records, to me, I know it was a shock to a lot of people, but for me it made total sense because we've been friends for a long time and I've known him. It just made sense and I've watched what he's done. He's continued the tradition of like Bruce Lundvall and all of the other guys who ran the label, where he's given a safe place for young artists to really hone their art and develop. And he's just been a very genuine person. When I first started producing records, you know, I called him up and he was very generous with his information. He's always been an outgoing person who's willing to give anybody a shot.
He seems like a true collaborator.
True collaborator and true lover of the art form, which is the most important thing. Because while he can go and work with the Rolling Stones, right? He really appreciates Ron Carter, Jimmy Garrison, and all those guys as great jazz bassists. And even some of the younger guys that are coming along now, like Christian McBride and those guys.
Absolutely. And I love he's brought Gregory Porter, which is one of my favorites. Oh my gosh, I can't get enough of him. Well, congratulations on this evening. This is very special. Last question for you. What are you most looking forward to tonight?
There's so many things. You know, actually, what I'm probably looking forward to the most, I get a chance to perform with Lisa Fisher. Yeah.
I'm here with Don Was. Wow, this is a huge celebration, Lifetime Achievement Award. What does this recognition mean for you?
Oh, it's just very touching. You know, it's very sweet. I mean, people went to a lot of trouble to do something nice for me, and I'm really moved by it.
Well, you do so much for the music industry, and you've worked with so many genres. What is it about jazz, though, that keeps you drawing you in and makes you want to continue to invest your time in it?
I think there's something about the emotional charge of the music. I've always found that it's, well, you know, it's kind of a secret language. It's a, you know, and something about it, it both soothes and helps you deal with the chaos and confusion of everyday life, and also it represents kind of freedom. There's a freedom in the expression that has great meaning on a larger in the larger picture.
So you've worked with so many amazing artists, from John Mayer, Willie Nelson, Elton John. Gregory Porter, thank you so much for bringing him to us. I love him so much. Is there a particular collaboration that continues to inspire you? I know you have a lot of stories, but is there a particular one?
Well, they all do. You know, I mean, everyone, I feel really fortunate to work with everybody that I've worked with, and I've learned from all of them. And I do have musical relationships that span many decades at this point, and I value all of them. I wouldn't want to single anybody out, but there's nothing too big or too small. You know, I think if you're going to produce a record, you want to have some emotional common ground with that artist, and you're already soul brothers and sisters before you start, in a way. When I first got hired at Blue Note Records, I had to try to figure out why the music that was released 60, 70 years ago was still felt relevant and fresh today. And what happened is that in every period of the label's history, they signed artists who learned the foundations of everything that came before them and studied heavily. But then they used that knowledge to create something brand new. It never remained like a museum. So the whole point of the music is you know, pushing it forward. Even on a little microcosmic level, every night when you get up to play something new. Don't play what you played last night, right? That's the only wrong thing you can do, is repeat what you did last night. So it's always about growth and pushing the boundaries and the threshold.
Now, there's a lot of things that are going to be happening tonight. What are you most looking forward to this evening?
I've remained blessedly ignorant about what's happening this evening. So I know that some people are coming to surprise me, and I don't know who it is, and I'm just going to be taking it in like everybody else. I have no idea what's going on.
Well, there's a lot to unfold tonight, and congratulations on this evening's celebration. Such a pleasure to meet you, and thank you for all that you do.
We're excited. It's been building up for a long time. SFJAZZ is a huge part of the Hayes Valley community. A lot of people put this together, Naveed, everybody else, Gita Tate. We're hoping this brings more people in to the SFJAZZ and to the community.
I genuinely love jazz. That's why I decided to co-chair the Luminary Gala, but Don Was. He is a legend. I love Blue Notes. Back in the old days where people had CDs, I would go to Blue Note parties and get Blue Note CDs, which my brother would steal. So for me, it's all about jazz.
SFJAZZ has been a big part of my career since I got to this city back in 1996. I'm always called this a home, and always happy to be here to play, support, or enjoy music.
I love SFJAZZ, especially now because we have a black woman driving our buzz, running our organization, and I think it's just uphill from here. We've entered a new era, if you will, with Mr. Blanchard and with Miss Armand, and I'm excited about all the possibilities of here.
Well, the most exciting thing for me is, well, twofold. One is to help and build upon what has already been an amazing foundation that Randall Klein and all of the wonderful people in the city of San Francisco, the Bay Area, everybody have put together, as well as getting to work with Terrence. The San Francisco art scene has always had a reputation for being inclusive, for being innovative, for being at the height of creative thinking and creative expression. So for me, coming here is just, it's a dream come true. Having been in New York and on the East Coast for most of my life, I feel like I've had a good sort of primer, and now this is like, sophomore year.
Thank you very much. Back in Detroit, when I was 14 years old in 1966, my mom made me run errands with her one Sunday. And, I wanted to be hanging out with my friends at the mall, and I was just being a grumpy little pain in the ass kid, right? And she got disgusted with it. She finally stopped dragging me into stores, and she just let me sit in the car with the engine running so that I could listen to the radio. And I was playing with the dial that Sunday, and I stumbled upon the Detroit jazz station, WCHD, and the great legendary DJ Ed Love. Y'all know Ed Love, good. And he was playing a song which I later learned was a Blue Note track by Joe Henderson called Mode for Joe. And I landed on the station just as the sax solo was beginning. And man, I never heard anything like that before in my life. He was emitting these kind of anguished cries from the saxes. Right? And it caught my ears because it matched the profound anguish I was experiencing being forced to run errands with my mom all day, right? And in that moment, the music delivered a very clear message, a nonverbal message. Joe Henderson was telling me, Don, you got to groove in the face of adversity. And, right? And when that clicked, man, it turned my mood around 180 degrees, like in a couple of minutes. And I wasn't pissed off anymore. By the time my mom got back in the car, I was a nice kid again. And it was really strong testimony to the power of this music. And right there it hit me that being part of promulgating music that could help the listeners make sense out of the chaos and the confusion of the human situation would be, at least a moderately worthwhile calling. And that's really all I ever tried to do. And it happens to be the same thing that SFJAZZ does, which is why being here tonight means so much to me.
One of our amazing artists tonight. Wow, what a piece. It was so delicate, so beautiful, so sweet. What was it like singing right in front of Don Was?
It's sort of intimidating. And not only Don Was, but because I guess I have more experience singing in front of Don, because he's my label head, my producer.
Sure.
But backstage,
oh yeah, all the people backstage.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
There's like all my idols from childhood and adulthood, and they're all just sitting there like, good luck. And it's like, what?
Oh my god.
And you go out and it's Don and his family, and
I love it.
yeah, and Justin from Blue Note, and
Very cool.
it's very it's surreal. It's a lot of pressure. I felt that in such a big event, it would be nice to create some intimacy. I feel like that's the place where I feel most comfortable.
Yep.
And
It felt very personal too.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Just to witness all of the artists honoring Don, and that alone, and let alone to be part of it myself,
Yeah.
it's sort of just a tremendous kind of milestone. I'm just grateful.
All right, I've been asking people tonight, if you could describe SFJAZZ in one word, what would it be?
Inventive.
Vibrant. Prolific.
Cool.
Joyful.
Sexy.
I love it.
Eclectic.
Community. Hip.
Thrilling.
Community.
Educational.
Lively.
Awesome.
Fun.
Party.
Electric.
It's pretty iridescent.
Community.
Warm hug, but that's 2 words.
Spectacular.
Bold.
Creative.
Inspiring.
Family.
Inclusive.
Bold. I told you it'd be worth it staying until the end. From the legends we honored to the rising artists we're investing in, every moment tonight proved just how alive and powerful this community really is. SF Jazz isn't just a venue, it's a hub for creativity, education, and the kind of live music moments that just stay with you. So be sure to check out their upcoming concerts by clicking the link below, and I personally hope to see you in the audience. Thanks for coming along with me. I'm Carrie from Red Curtain Addict. See you next time as we keep exploring the arts, one unforgettable night at a time.